What's up, folks? Jacob Rob AJ here. So today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on an album entitled Medicine, and this is by Artist versus Poet.
These letters can connect us, resurrect the hope inside. Form the words that will reverse the time and bring us back to life. And I wish that you could see.
Going into this album, I didn't know anything about Artist versus Poet as a band. This was the first album that I listened to by them. The lead singer reminded me a lot of a cross between the lead singer from Panic at the Disco and then also the lead singer of Fall Out Boy. Track number 1 is entitled Fresh. I definitely thought this first track could be a radio single. It has a nice melody to it, and I thought it had a great chorus from the start, and the lyrics really stood out within this track. Track number 2 was the title track, which is entitled Medicine. As soon as the beat dropped at the 15-second mark, I knew I was going to like this song. It had a good groove to it. The track was very light, and also the bass really stood out within the track as well. As songs you don't really see the bass get that much credit. This is one track that actually reminded me a lot of Fall Out Boy.
With this invention of love, I saw movie magic and brought up the act, but all that I could find was blood.
Track number 3 is entitled Breakaway. When I heard this track, I thought it was going to be my favorite track from listening to this album. It was actually a tie with this track and also the next track that I'll go into in just a minute. But I thought this had a great melody to it. I liked the guitar work that was done for this track. And overall it was one of the best tracks on this album. And it's also one that I think a lot of people like once they hear this track. It's one of those tracks that you'll kind of see lead up into a ballad. Track number 4 is entitled Sincerely Me. This was another favorite of mine from this album. So it's kind of fast-paced when it starts out, and you'll see a lot of bands kind of build up to this point, like during the middle of their song, or maybe after the first chorus. Specific track, it kind of starts at the very beginning, and it kind of keeps that melody throughout the whole song.
I didn't think these memories I'm writing down could put my mind at ease. Oh, but I'll write it till my fingers bleed. Keep it safe so no one else can see.
But I like the lyrics. Maybe these letters can connect us, resurrect the hope inside. From the words that will reverse this time and bring us back to life. With this track specifically, I kind of felt like he reminded me a lot of the lead singer from Panic at the Disco. Track number 5 is entitled Leavin. I felt like this track was slower than a lot of the other tracks on the album. I kind of like how his vocals ended during the end of the song. You'll see him say the lyrics, and I can put it in a song about you leaving. Track number 6 is entitled Kids Again. I love the guitar melody that was used within this track. I thought this track was a great collaboration with Amy Allen, and I thought her and Joe's vocals mixed real well within the track.
I know a girl who likes to drink her coffee black, 'cause sugar knows she don't got time for that.
Hopefully she appears on future albums by Artist versus Poet. Track number 7 is entitled Somewhere Else. This track they're kind of talking about getting a runaround in a relationship. Track number 8 is entitled Everything Must Go. I like the way the vocals and also the guitar stands out within this track. Track number 9 is entitled Unbreakable. This was the only track I didn't like on the album. I felt like this track could have been used as a B-side, because this track, it just didn't flow with any of the other tracks from this album. Number 10 is entitled Awake. It starts out with soft guitar and kind of had like a nice little pattern that was going on within the track. Track number 11 is entitled Breakaway. This was the piano version. I didn't feel like this track was nearly as good as track number 3, which was the original full version of it. It was a lot more stripped down. It didn't really have anything besides that piano in it. Towards the end of one of the sets, it seems like they would play the song. But it was good, but just didn't catch my attention like track number 3 did. And it was kind of odd because track number 3 was one of my top favorites from this album. Overall, there were 11 tracks on this album. If you got this album, feel free to share your thoughts. What was your favorite track overall? If you had a least favorite, feel free to share that below. If you have listened to Artist vs. Poet for a while, what is your favorite album by them? But until next time, this has been Jacob Rob AJ, and I'll see ya.